Let's ring in the new year with some dazzling quilts.
Today we're looking at beautiful metallic fabrics.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Café.
When you think of the new year, you think about goals and resolutions, but you also think about shimmering and shine.
Yes, today we're going to dress up our quilts for New Year's with metallic fabrics. Let's take a look at our first one. Now, what's better on New Year's Eve than sitting by the fire? So we have Fireside, and that is why I named this quilt this. I thought this kind of looked like bricks going around a really beautiful center focal point here. And we have a nice big block on this one that's going to show off a really pretty fabric. And then it's bordered with these other blocks. We've just taken this block and rotated, put it between, and then here we just have a smaller solid block. It goes together really fast, and I think it has lots of interest going on here. I also think it's really neat because you could put another print in your number 2 area. So let's get it on the table and check out some really cool metallic fabric. I am loving this fabric that I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I know you are the glitz and glam girl when it comes to fabric. She loves it. Well, I do too.
Yeah, I do too. But in this fabric has a little bit, to me, like an Art Nouveau feel to it. It's very pretty. I love the purples, the blues, the greens in here. And it's all outlined with this beautiful gold metallic on a black background. So it pops and it is spectacular.
It is.
And it is going to go in this big block so that you can really appreciate it in this Fireside pattern. It's going to go here and just a little touch on the border so you get a little bit of that bling all the way around the outside edge. Then for our number 2. Now, we can't stop the bling at number 1. You just can't do that, okay? So we've added a little gold metallic to our number 2 as well. And I think this picks up perfectly the greens and the kind of deep purpley pinks in our number 1 fabric. And of course, it's got this vine running through it that is the metallic gold. It is going to go everywhere you see this fabric here on the Fireside quilt.
It's almost like a double focus.
It kind of is, just a little bit, a big print and a little bit smaller print, but it's really pretty. All right, number 3 fabric. We have some gorgeous movement here. Now this is our darker purpley red that pick up all of the darker shades in our focus fabric. That is going to go everywhere you see the red on this quilt, and of course on the border. It's just going to frame it all and bring it all together and just look gorgeous.
I love the way they took the metallic and made it go
yeah.
You can almost hear it.
And you can see how that focus fabric is really framed by those alternate blocks. I think it just looks gorgeous. I like seeing a whole lot of the fabric. So it just looks great in Fireside.
Now, and it makes it look like there's a whole lot more than 1 yard.
It kind of does. It really does. Now, we have a little bonus for you. We have a secondary pattern that we have put this fabric in. We've also placed it in Byzantine door. Now, look at it in Byzantine because you still get a really big block with this focus fabric so you can see it. And then the number 2 fabric in that alternate block is great. And then all sashed with our number 3. It looks so pretty. Now, if you would like to learn more about this pattern, be sure to watch Hannah's video on One Day Quilts. Now, let's get you the kit information on this kit. It is called Fanflower. It is our Fireside pattern from the Make It Christmas book.
Now, we all look at New Year's in a specific way, and that is everything shiny and new coming up, and we're going to make all of these New Year's resolutions. And I want to challenge you to set a New Year's resolution to try something new. How about some curved blocks? They're super easy to make, and these blocks that you see right here are made with 2 curved pieces that are right here. And then we add a half square triangle on one side. And it is so cool, and you can do so many things with these curve appeal patterns. And this one looks great in metallics, so let us show you. So as I mentioned, if you want to have a New Year's resolution to try something new, if you haven't already made our super easy curve block, you should give it a try. Let's block this out so we can see it. So the finished block has 2 of the components are the curve. So this is going to be the finished block altogether, but it has 2 of the curved blocks in there. So let me show you that. So we're going to just swing it down here, and you can see there is the curved block, and it's super easy. We give you all of the templates so that you know exactly how to put them together. And we've had so many people who gave it a shot, and they said it was so much easier than they ever dreamed possible. So don't be afraid. Set that New Year's resolution and give it a try.
It was fun.
Yes.
It really was fun. I've done my curves.
And so if you go back up here, you see the whole block. But this is what's really cool. After you make this curved block here, we're just going to move it right down here, and you're going to make half square triangles. Ta-da!
We know how to do that.
Yes.
We can do that.
And if you need a little warm up before you start the curves, just make your half square triangles first. Super easy.
And then you put them all together, and it's this great block.
Yeah,
Love it.
And all of your friends will say, "How did you do that?" It's just so cool.
It is very cool, and this is cool fabric.
This is super cool fabric. It's got that great silver metallic that's outlining all of the feathers and their little ridges and all. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it's like someone silver leafed the feathers for you.
It's amazing. It does. It looks like one of those paintings where you very carefully go in there and draw out the lines
It's
like
very
a pen and
pretty.
ink, only
Yes.
you used silver.
Yes.
So this is going to be our number 1 fabric. It'll go here in this section. The number 2 fabric is going to be here in the green. So it's going to be on each of those corners, the other half of your half square triangle.
Very pretty.
Very nice. Then we have our number 3 fabric, the blue, and you can see how gorgeous that is. That's going to be everywhere you see this rust color. But enough to do about that. Let's look at an image. So isn't that fun?
It is fun. I love the feathers in that block. I just think they just give so much interest. The blue really grounds it and pops. It's got a good pop to it.
Yeah, it really does. and it has that movement of the diagonal that I really like as well.
I like
That's
that
really
as well.
cool.
Yes.
And it's cool that this is called Hourglass because this section almost looks like it's an hourglass that's being turned as we go into the new year.
Yeah.
Now this kit is called Gilded Feathers. It's the hourglass pattern from the book Curve Appeal with 3-yard quilts.
Now this is the parade pattern, and we named it parade because we kind of felt like it looked like streamers and confetti, like you're tossing it out of a balcony window, and it's just so much fun, and it's got that feeling of parade. But there's so many great things about this pattern. One, you can use charm packs and jelly rolls with this if you want to, and you're trying to bust your stash. It would also be really great just with scrap fabrics. I know for New Year's, often I think, I'm gonna clean out that stash and I'm gonna use up those fabrics. This would be a great pattern for that. But it's really easy to put together. We just have a block here that's just strip assemblies, and then we have some blocks with half square triangles. It's gonna go together fast, and we have some beautiful fabric for you. Let's check it out. So we have a peachy kit for our parade pattern here. I love this fabric.
It is so fun.
It is so much fun.
It has heart confetti.
It does
For the
have
party.
heart confetti. And what's really cool, now there's lots of cool things about this fabric, and I cannot wait to show you the image of this too because it is so good. All right, we have 3 ombre fabrics. So wow, all 3 of these are an ombre. So let's start with our number 1 fabric. It gets darker by the selvages and then lighter in the middle. Now, not only does the color change, but the print changes. So the hearts get more concentrated near the selvage edge, and then they get a little less concentrated on the lighter part in the middle. So it really distributes the little heart confetti all the way through it.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And you know, when you make these and you cut them just like the pattern says, it is going to give you the best kind of cool look to your quilt. Wait, I'm going to show you the image in a minute. Okay, let's step through this fabric because it is really gorgeous. Okay, number 1 fabric, that is going to go everywhere you see the print on this one. And our little strip piece block as well as in our half square triangles here. Then for our number 2 fabric, Now, our number 2 fabric is also an ombre, and you can see that it's on a white background and it doesn't change colors, but the concentration of the hearts get a little bit more on the selvage edges.
That is so cool.
So it just kind of sprinkles it in different degrees all over the fabric, which is great. All right, our number 2 fabric goes everywhere the light green is on this one and on the border. Very cool. Then for our number 3 is this not the funnest thing? I mean, I just love all this. Now, our number 3 ombre is a little bit darker colorway than our focus. The print gets more concentrated on the selvage, then it gets lighter as you move into the middle of the yard of fabric. So our number 3 fabric is going to go everywhere you see the blue here. And then we've got it in our half square triangles as well, and that's just going to help anchor it all. And remember I said this looks like a parade with confetti and streamers. This is perfect fabric for that because it looks like confetti hearts. I love, love, love how this came together. I love how the gradation of the light and the dark within the same yard really creates this glow.
I was going to say it. It just looks like the whole quilt is like lit, backlit.
It's back or something. It is just so cool. The number 3 fabric is so perfect because it's the darker color. You can really see those half square triangles that almost look like a flag banner, you know, like a flag garland that you would hang. And then that border is just perfect. It looks so, so good. Now, when you purchase a 3-yard kit, you can pick a free pattern. Is that not the coolest thing?
That really is.
So with every 3-yard kit you purchase, you can choose a free pattern. Now, the parade pattern is available in our book, Stash Busting with 3-Yard Quilts, and it's only available in the book. But we always suggest a pattern that is available as an individual. And when you go on the website to look at this kit, you will see that we have an image for another pattern that is an individual that you can choose for free. It's our alternate pattern. So we have a special bonus for you, and we're going to show you the image of this fabric kit and the alternate pattern as well. This is our Jacob's ladder, and this is what we have chosen for the alternate pattern for this kit. It's amazing.
It is. It looks great.
It's amazing. I love how all the sprinkles change, all the heart confettis, because, you know, they get more concentrated in some areas and less, but you can really see it on this, and you can see all the different lights and darks on this.
It almost looks like you're using a lot of different fabrics.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is our Jacob's ladder. So when you go in and click on that kit, this is the pattern that you're going to see, but don't forget about the parade pattern because it looks gorgeous in this as well from our Stash Busting book. Now the kit information on this one, it is called Ombre Hug, and it's with our parade pattern from Stash Busting with 3-Yard Quilts.
Now if you're going dancing for New Year's, you want to keep that tempo going, right? Now we have a quilt called Tempo here, and I just thought it looked like the blocks were dancing around on the surface of the quilt. Super easy to make. First of all, your primary block has a bordered block, and this can be you can use the directional fabric if you want. And this is also a double focus quilt, and so we used another focus fabric in the secondary block. Now this one looks like it has half square triangles, but it doesn't. We use that wonderful magical flip and stitch to make this particular block, so that makes it super easy as well. Now we've got some great shiny fabric to show you, so let's put it on the table and talk about it. Now before we look at this gorgeous fabric that's trimmed out in some gold bling, let's look at the quilt behind us. This one is called Attraction, and it's a pattern that's from the Easy Peasy 3-Yard Quilt book. And the reason I wanted you to see this one is because it's another one that looks fantastic with all of the glitz and glimmer of the metallic fabrics. So be sure to check that one out as well. Now, this fabric is so fun. We've got gold edging around the little parallelogram.
Chevrons.
Chevrons, yeah. Okay, I was trying to describe that one. And
Parallelogram,
it's
that's
yeah.
right.
I was going back to my high school algebra.
Geometry.
But I never noticed that chevrons have 2 parallelograms meeting.
It's so neat. We don't want to go back to school, though.
No, we don't. Okay, so this is our number 1 fabric, and that's going to be in this block here. And remember, we've talked about how this could use a directional fabric, and this is pretty much a directional fabric, so it'll be perfect in this particular square. Now, to be a good companion for this one is this wonderful, and it's, you know, you keep kind of describing them as earthy. They have just a light color in the background. It's kind of a mottled fabric.
It's not white. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's not
Yeah,
white.
it's not just stark white.
Yeah.
In this particular case, it really does kind of ground the quilt and makes it blend more with these colors.
But the most spectacular thing about this number 2 is it has a fairy dusting of gold metallic.
It sure does, and that is going to look great in this background. You know, one of the reasons I like metallics is because it's very subtle, but it will pick up the light in the room. It's not like shining in your face,
No.
but it does create a reflective element to
Yes.
your quilts. And that's why I like it so much, because it almost makes them seem like they're shimmering.
Yeah, glowing. I don't know, it's just so good.
So this is our number 2, and it's going to be everywhere you see this kind of a light aqua color, as well as in the center here of the secondary block. Now the number 3 fabric, this is so fun, kind of a honeycomb look to it. And every one of those little honeycombs are outlined in gold. Isn't that cool?
So cool. And they're all different colors. There's deep reds, there's pinks, there's purples.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is really, really pretty.
That's
that goes here, right?
Yep, and here.
Very good.
So it's going to look great. And it really does show off the fabric.
It really
and you
does.
can really see the movement in the fabric as well.
And you know what's really cool? And you know, I know that I notice unusual things, I think. But I think red is really coming back strong again. You know, 15, 20 years ago, it was such a huge decorating color where people were painting their walls red, and remember all the
Right.
And it's back.
Yeah, it
and
is
I
coming
love
back.
it. I love the red.
And this fabric really does show you how well it goes with those other deep, rich colors. I love
gorgeous.
that. And you know, this one looks great in an alternative pattern as well. So today you're getting extra treats. Let's look at Urban Chic. And this fabric in Urban Chic is spectacular.
It is.
Look at that. And the movement goes a little different, where the tempo is dancing all over the surface. This one has that diagonal movement that just takes your eye from one corner to the other, and it is truly spectacular.
It is.
And I love all the different sizes of blocks. You've got your little bitty blocks, and you got your middle size, and you got your big ones.
I love it.
Like
Love
that. Now this kit is called Regal Rhythm, and it's with the tempo pattern from the Double Focus 3-Yard Quilts book.
Now this quilt is called a Curio. And you know, we named it Curio, and I should say that Jessica and I sit down and we name all these quilts, and she said, I think you should name this one Curio because it looks like a china cabinet or a curio cabinet where you stash all of your prized china, and like these are plates. And it hit, and I thought it was the perfect name because I really like this big stitch and flip snowball here, and it's bordered by just a strip assembly in between each of these, and then just a little solid block here to give it that really neat pattern, almost like it's a curio cabinet doors, like they're glass doors, and you're looking inside of it. And this is a really fun one. I think it'd be really cool if you had scraps and you wanted to either use a layer cake, a different one in every single one, or any of those. It would be so cool. But we have some great metallic fabric we want to share with you for this one. Now this next kit is really a little bit different twist, but gorgeous. We have a beautiful floral, a beautiful large scale floral. And this one, all of these flower petals are outlined with the gold metallic. And then we have the leaves outlined and the vines, and it almost takes you by surprise, I think, because when you first see it, it's this gorgeous floral, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute.
It's almost like the flower is catching the sun right on the rim of the petals.
So pretty. All right, so this is our focus fabric. It is going to go everywhere this fabric here, this blue kind of circular fabric is. And this block can take a directional fabric, so this one is going to work perfect in that position. So then our number 2 fabric is a beige kind of white with some leaves and some other little smaller flower sprigs in there. I really like it. I think it picks up the background color of our focus perfectly.
It's really sweet.
It's very, very sweet. That is going to go everywhere you see the gray here, on our strip piece sashing block here and on our corners. And then for our number 3, this is fabulous. We have this, it's really pretty. It's like a floral filigree. I don't know how else to say that. But
Well, that's a good description.
All outlined in gold. There's a lot of gold on this. And it's a little bit smaller print, which is perfect for these joining blocks here. So you're just going to get little bits of the darker red from this with that gold, and it's going to look fantastic.
I like the way it looks in the little joining squares too. Yeah, those look really good.
I really like the way that the snowball blocks really show off the focus fabric. And these are such quick, easy blocks to make, and it's perfect for a big print like this.
I like that. And I do like the way you were saying earlier about the Curio, the name of it. It does. It almost looks like you got a beautiful set of floral plates in the Curio cabinet.
I love it. And then our joining blocks just bring it all together around the outside edges, and that little block right in the middle with the little darker red metallic. It's just perfect. I love it. All right, let's get you some kit information on this one. It is called a Decadent Garden. It is our Curio pattern from Make It Modern with 3-Yard Quilts.
Now, if one of your New Year's resolution is to use up some of that fabric from your stash, this is the one. It's called Lickity Split, and it's so fast and so much fun. And if you take a little peek, you can see in this particular one, we've used 3 different prints. And we got the contrast with color and with the size of your motifs that are in the actual prints. So it's made in vertical rows. So this is a row on the quilt, and you can then sash it here. And the cool thing is there are absolutely no corners to match. So this one truly is a lickety split quilt, and we've got some great metallics to show you for this one. Fun, fun, fun. That's how I would describe this fabric. I love this fabric, but I'm kind of a modern art girl. I think I'm a little bit of everything, but I do love this print.
Modern art, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so much fun the way it's got the little touches of metallic in it. It's so cute.
Yes.
So this is going to be our number 1 fabric, and it's going to go everywhere you see the kitty cats. And it's just so fun, and I love that aqua in there that's just perfectly picks up the number 2 fabric.
Yeah, and you know what's really cool about this fabric is it's kind of more rectangular or elongated in its design. The little motif is.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that you're putting it in a rectangular space here.
Right.
Because it just kind of accentuates that. I like that.
And it also is a directional fabric, and it will work perfectly with this particular pattern.
So pretty.
So this is our number 1, going where the kitties are, and then to really make that aqua show up is the aqua is the number 2. It's going to be in the secondary block, and it is just going to make all of these little bits and pieces of aqua show up. Yeah, really pop.
Love it.
And then our number 3 fabric is a mimic of the number 1 print, but just colored differently. And so you can see that is going to be on the border, and it'll also be our sashing strip, which is the key to not having to match any seams. So this is a great, fast pattern to make. And that's the reason why the pattern is called Lickety Split, because it's so fast. And you can really pick up that aqua because of that aqua block.
Yes, it pops off of there.
It really does kind of draw it out. And you can see how quickly you're going to be able to make these in vertical rows, and then putting those strips in there, you are going to be through with this pattern so fast, and you're going to say, I love Lickety Split. Okay, so this kit is called Modern Luxe. It's the Lickety Split pattern from the book Fast and Fun 3-Yard Quilts. So have you ever worked with metallic fabrics? What do you think of them? We'd love for you to share your feelings about them in the comments below.
And if you would like to see more ideas on working with metallic fabrics, be sure to watch the video that pops up.
Happy quilting!